Good afternoon, YouTube family. Today is Tuesday, January the 14th, 2025. It's your man, Big D, and I'm back with another one. Before I speak on this next topic, I would like to thank all of you good people out there that have consistently supported my son and I. He and I greatly appreciate you and your continued support. Thank you. YouTube family, when I was a little boy, my mom did everything she could to protect me from the evils of the world. She did everything she could, the best she could, to make sure that I had a decent upbringing. She did everything she could to make sure that I lived in a decent house where when it rained, the roof wasn't leaking and water drops falling on my head. Now, can I say that I had designer clothes and what have you? I did not, because my mom worked 2 jobs and she struggled just to keep my existence going. And what I mean by my existence is this: had she not been able to pay the mortgage, pay the light bill, the water bill, put foods on the table, my existence would have been meaningless, minimal. And I owe a lot to my mom because, as I said, I was raised by a single Black mother. So I owe a lot to her. So, my mom did the best she could to try to protect me, to try to make sure that when I did go to school or go out into the world, she knew she couldn't watch over me all the time because that's just unrealistic, because I had to go to school and she had to work. So in doing that, I think my mom kind of jaded my perspective about what life would be for me when I became an adult. I think my mom jaded me to those things that would later become pitfalls, that had I not endured these pitfalls and rose above my circumstances, who knows where I would be right now. But I can assure you, I wouldn't be here where I'm at. So it wasn't until even with going to college and the military, what have you, it wasn't until I really got to a certain point in life when I was able to see the true nature of both men and women. It wasn't until I later went into a law enforcement career field that I really was able to see the true nature of men and women, just human beings as a whole. Because in that career field, everything that my mother did to protect me from all the evils of the world, I was able to see it up close and personal. And the veil was revealed. And even through the years of living in military and going overseas and traveling the world, and many a times I could have lost my life chasing what I thought was the answers to life. It wasn't until I went into a job, a career field, where I could have lost my life every day I potentially put the uniform on. It wasn't then until I got an opportunity to see just how diabolical human beings are. There were instances where I would go to calls for service where I would see stabbings, shootings, people just beatings. I would go to calls for service where I would see women just beat to a pulp by no good men. And for whatever the reason, a week later, she bite the lady that I responded to her house where she just got beat like she was like she was less than human. She bite with the same sorry ass joker that put his hands on her just a week prior. So in seeing how wicked and diabolical human beings are, I also got an opportunity to see the hope, the thing that we as human beings pray for, that if we just strive to do the right thing, the universe, the creator will bless us. I got a chance to see that up close and personal too. I got an opportunity to see people who had lost it all because of a fire. But even during this loss, they endured and said, hey, at least we're still alive. I had an opportunity to watch mothers watch their children, their young boys or boys they raised by themselves, like my mama raised me. I had an opportunity to see these women support these boys while they went through the criminal justice system. I would always feel sorry for these women because these women oftentimes will blame themselves for the circumstances and the choices that their sons made. But it wasn't their fault, because once a person gets to a certain age, it is on them. Once you get to an age, see, we as men say once you get to like maybe 16, 17, 18, once you become an adult, the law holds you accountable. But no, you can be 12, 13, 14, 15. The law still going to hold you accountable, because I've seen it. I've seen them that young go up the road. So that leads me to this. Accountability comes in all stages, in all levels, at all ages, because as soon as you know the difference between right and wrong, you're going to be held accountable. So I got an opportunity to watch these women suffer and do time with their sons when their sons was wrong as two left shoes. Ma'am, he wrong, he did it. He committed the crime. No matter how much you want to say the criminal justice system is crooked, ma'am, we got him dead to right. And even he had opportunity to go before a jury of his peers. And even they said, son, we don't want to do this to you, but you're wrong and you must be held accountable. You see, my mother did everything she could to protect me from running with the hoodlums, because she knew that if I would have got arrested, all it takes is one time, and as a minority, your life can be turned upside down. So my mother knew this. But I think secretly in her heart, my mother knew about the evils and the hatred in the hearts of men. And she swore that she would do everything she could to protect me as long as she could, to prevent her youngest from maybe perhaps going down the same road as his two older brothers who caught time and charges. Maybe perhaps he could go on to be like his big sister, who went on to make history in this state of Florida. So I can understand why my mother was so hard. And when I thought mom was just man, damn, mama just an a-hole. She just mean and on it for no reason. But I understood. Mama had no account, baby daddies. That's how it was back in them days. And if it were up to me, I would say, hey, you know what? Just leave me where I'm at, because I don't want to be born into this type of situation, but we don't have a choice. Our parents are our parents. We don't get to choose them. We just try to make the best of it and understand where they may have fell short and show them grace, because one day you are going to need somebody to show you grace. So I understand why things were the way that they were. But no matter how hard mama tried to hide what life really was like, she knew one day I was going to have to experience it. So I got opportunity to see the cold-hearted truth behind how human beings treat themselves. I've seen people off themselves. Life got so terrible that they couldn't do it no more. I went to scenes where a young man, half his head was missing. And even to this day, I can still see those pictures of all the people who done heinous things, not only to themselves, but to other people. I can still see those pictures running like flashes and snippets and clips in the back of my cerebral cortex. So, family, in closing, I'll say this. Human beings can be the worst, but there are a few of us who still believe that they are good in some of us. Well, family, always remember, be more tomorrow than you were yesterday. Peace.